Hola, me llamo Señor Adams. Today, we're going to talk about el imperfecto, or the imperfect tense. Another way to talk about the past is with the imperfect tense. Use the imperfect tense to talk about actions that happened repeatedly in the past. For example, Rafael patinaba y Mónica corría. We've got two verbs, patinaba y corría. These can be translated to Rafael used to skate and Monica used to run. As we can see, they are not translated into skated or ran because they happen more than once. Here are the regular forms of AR, ER, and IR verbs in the imperfect tense. Notice the accent mark on the nosotros form of jugar. Let's look at the verb jugar, which means to play. We've got yo jugaba, tú jugabas, usted, él, ella jugaba, nosotros jugábamos, vosotros jugabais, ustedes, ellos, ellas jugaban. And here we've got an accent mark on the nosotros form of jugar, jugábamos. Another thing to notice is the very end of each of these. Except for the yo form, we've got as, a, amos, ais, an, which are the normal endings for AR verbs in the present tense. Okay, next, let's look at ER and IR verbs. Note that the ER and IR verbs, such as hacer and vivir, have the same endings. So let's take a look. We've got hacer, to do. Yo hacía, tú hacías. Usted, él, ella hacía. Nosotros hacíamos. Vosotros hacíais. Ustedes, ellos, ellas hacían. And we can see that there's a lot of accented I's. Each conjugation has an I with an accent. Next, we've got the verb vivir, to live. Yo vivía. Tú vivías. Usted, él, ella vivía. Nosotros vivíamos. Vosotros vivíais. Ustedes, ellos, ellas vivían. As you know, in Spanish, you can often omit the subject of a verb because the subject is made clear in the verb ending. Let's look at an example. In this example, we have vivo en Chicago. Normally, we would write yo vivo, and we know it's the subject yo because it ends in o. However, since yo and usted, él, ella forms are the same in the imperfect for AR, ER, and IR verbs, speakers often use the subject pronoun to avoid confusion. So in this example, we've got Patricia tenía un triciclo rojo, pero yo tenía uno azul. So here we see tenía and tenía are the same. The first one is Patricia, and the second one is yo. So we have to use the subject pronouns so we know we're saying the difference between Patricia had and I had. So the translation is, Patricia used to have a red tricycle, but I used to have a blue one. Expressions such as generalmente, por lo general, a menudo, muchas veces, de vez en cuando, todos los días, and nunca can cue you to use the imperfect because they imply that something happened repeatedly in the past. These words are important to remember when we're using the imperfect tense. They'll help you give you a clue to know that we're using the imperfect tense. So let's look at some of these. We've got generalmente, generally. Por lo general, in general. A menudo, often. Muchas veces, many times. De vez en cuando, once in a while. Todos los días, every day. Nunca, never. Siempre, always. A veces, sometimes. De niño, as a child. De pequeño, when little or also as a child. Cada año, mes, semana, or día, which is every year, month, week, or day. Okay, that's it. I hope you're starting to understand the imperfect tense a little bit better. Adios.